So, hello, good afternoon, Barbara. I'm very, very glad that we finally came together and that we will talk about your work, about your involvement with communities and so on. So, it's just, I don't know, I was very eager to be with you. So, let's start with knowing who Barbara is. Where did you begin all this?
Hello, Urush. Thank you so much for inviting me to this podcast because I'm really glad that I can share something about my story, about my mission in life, and how I created Shining Souls. And yes, to really introduce me a little bit, it is unlike so many people out there. I really acknowledged all my spiritual paths or my spiritual wisdom late because it came that I had around 10 years a big childhood trauma. And after this trauma, I had a huge accident falling off the horse and I lost my memory from the birth up till 10 years. I really doesn't recognize anything anymore. And so I have to learn something. And this brought me to the point that I completely related on my outside world. And I was born in a family very entangled into the corporate world. And of course, a lot of experience there. And by reflecting back, I know why I had to have this experience because otherwise I wouldn't see what is it about living in the material world, living in the corporate world, and see how everything comes together. Yeah, and one thing always was with me, and this were my horses. With 10 years, my parents brought me to riding and to come in touch with horses. And in the beginning, I was a bit afraid because, yeah, it was not so easy like now to have these riding lessons and so on. But I always felt attracted to horses. And there was always this deeper connection in my heart. So, and yeah, this was the beginning. And even when I entered also for myself my career in the corporate world, always the horses were with me. And even I worked hard longer than from 9 to 5. I had always time to be with them in the evening hours or whenever, whatever, just for my hobby. And yeah, after I met my husband, my now husband, uh, we decided to move and I stopped my career and we moved to the northern part of Germany and I stopped my career. And I finally found a new career in the horse industry. It wasn't even better or more because the horse industry is also very earthly entangled, I would say. But here I started a new career with the horses, becoming a professional rider, a professional horse trainer, and so on. And of course, there is a way that I finally met my first mentors, opened me the world to the spirits or to the spiritual path. And at first glimpse, I didn't know anything about it. After the first session with one of my wonderful mentors, I was like newborn. I was like, yeah, coming back to Earth in a completely new way of living. And of course, I was curious and I started to learn more about everything. And this brought me to my shaman, and I work with him now almost 20 years. And I learned so much about living on Earth with a bridge to the spirit world. And yeah, so when we see that this is always be a much more expanded consciousness about what is life, about what is life on Earth, because some people are call it boot camp. Of course, it's a boot camp. On the other side, it's really precious as we see ourselves as a part of nature, as we see ourselves as a part of a community. And so a lot of learnings, a lot of doings, a lot of up and downs, of course. But I saw that there is much more in this physical world than only the material things, only what we can see, what we can touch. It is much more. And I learned a lot about how energy works and how can we access these universal energies. And there are a lot of bridges into the spirit realm, into the universal energies. But we have to figure out, first of all, that we are all souls living in a human body and not the other way around. Because I have learned that we are all human bodies, that's it. And maybe you have a soul, but there is another point of view. Of course, we are souls making a human experience. And by traveling, yeah, to the other realms and by really try to acknowledge everything, I figured out so much more. And life is so much more about, yeah, being in a state of, I'm excited about life. It's not hard or whatever. It's not what we have learned, not how we been raised up. It is about how we adapt our perspective. So many people have a very limited perspective, also limited to their bodies, to their physical bodies. And here we are. And in the essence of shamanism, I found so many explanations and I found so many things that I see, okay, when we are a part of the whole, when we are a part of nature, when we are part of Mother Earth, why shouldn't we integrate this in our lives? Why do we things we are doing? And there would be much more to say, and I would talk for hours if I start to talk about this. But I have to say, I wasn't really allowed, and I speak about universal energies, to study anything because it was always by experiencing everything by myself, not only studying from books. And this gave me always the experience with everything. Yeah. And I was fortunate enough, and therefore I'm really grateful that the life or the universe brought me to the best mentors I could ever have. And this is by looking back, also from the writing side, from the corporate world, whatever, my mentors were always people who showed me a way, but don't push me in a cave or, yeah, it's just by experiencing. Practice whatever you do, and you will learn it. And this is where I really started to understand the horses much more and understand the way why I am brought to the horses. And here we are. This is why in my program I always use the example of horses. I always use also the energy, these explanations, how the energies work together. It's always about our heart. And why
Always,
it's about
always,
our heart? It's the
always.
seat of the soul. The fifth chamber of the heart is the seat of the soul.
Yeah.
So we have to explore our soul first to see how we entered in our human identity. And when we recognize who we truly are, what is really our true essence, we can move forward to communicate
Mm-hmm.
the language of energy. And when we are able to do so, we have much more peace, much more harmony. And we all know that our inner world is like our outer world.
Yeah.
And yes, so many, let's say, hermetic laws that are out there,
Yeah.
but nobody lives
By them, yes, yes,
by
yes.
them.
Yeah, that's what we have to learn, because look at the children in the beginning. Well, they know everything, and that little by little it just flushed out from their life, and they started to behave normally, like normally. That means, forget everything, nothing is true, what I say is true, go, that's
Yes.
how it is. One of the most shocking thing you told me before we were recording was about the size of the horse heart, which, when you look from the energetic point of view, is just amazing fact.
Yeah, that's really interesting. And I've figured it out. And even there are studies of scientists that figured out that the heart frequency of a horse is 15 times bigger than ours.
God.
And as soon as you come in touch with the horse, your heart expands immediately. And by the expansion of the heart, you can enter the energy that you are ready to receive. Let's name it like this. So, and this was for me the most incredible thing. And then I found that the horses are the healers on earth,
Yeah.
as the dolphins are the healers of the waters. So, and you can see it now everywhere. It's popping up that they have healing sessions with horses, and the horse,
Yeah.
not instinctively, I would say more heart-wise. They know exactly where to put the nose, where to come in touch with the human body,
Yeah.
what needs the most healing. And this is for me most amazing. And so, even if we have no physical sickness, it's also to clear our energetic field,
Yeah.
also to really make us whole by knowing that we are not only our human body, we have also our energy body, our emotional body. And horses are so sensitive that they can sense everywhere where is something in imbalance, where can we maybe look a little bit deeper. And this is where the healing starts. And not only the horses could heal this because we have techniques also, yeah, that
Yeah. Yeah.
I am the vessel for the spirits to really clear the energetic field, but the horses shows us exactly where the spot is. This is also the school of life because they can teach us everything about life if we are ready to listen,
Yeah.
if we are able to listen.
It's beautiful. It's like, it's so, for example, I was always fascinated by horses, but I'm glad that I didn't get deeper with them, because I would screw up, the situation, because I was not, for example, I was not mature enough to understand what's going on here, you know.
Yeah.
or let's be honest and say, I was not ready enough to respect and to and to admire what these animals are. You know, it's so beautiful. It's like, whoa! It gives me, I don't know, it gives me shivers, and I I I see random videos, and I have tears in my eyes because you start to feel that, you know.
And horses by themselves are so patient and so calm, they wait for us. Because in the review, I would say not all the time I was aware of these energies, and I did them wrong sometimes, sometimes not. Okay, I have to admit that always I got who was mistreated or not in the right shape trained, and through our love, through our connection, I brought them really to big success. Not only them, me also, but at the same time, this gave me the opportunity to see where I am in life. What do I have to learn? What is the next step? And this is what could be easily translated when you see the reaction of the horse. Because when you are really come in touch with the horse reacts to your energy field. And you can easily see, are you nervous? Are you maybe tired? Or whatever it is, whatever in whichever mood you are, the horse can show you the way. And then you can play together. And the most important thing, they all live in communities. And this is what we should try to adapt.
That's the next phase. It is. That's the next. Uh, cities are finished. You know, because when you depend on the supermarket, well, we are in bad shape. We
True.
will have to start to do our own food. Yeah, and the thing is, um, tell me if I'm right, but the horse energy, for example, okay, they are healers. They are our teachers. They are patient like nothing, and all this, for example, also helps you in your way when you treat the people, when you treat other people and help them. It's also part of it comes from that knowledge, no?
Yes, of course. This is a huge part of it because it's not that, yeah, I couldn't explain it in the other way. But here we are. We have to allow ourselves to get ourselves or to know ourselves really well. And most of the people are so, let's say, confused or so entangled in their day-to-day life that they don't open the perspective that there is so much more because they have to do everything higher, wider, faster. This is from the system. This is our society system. And the horses would calm us down if we would allow it. But for themselves, the people maybe don't do it. But when they have a horse or when they are horse lovers and when they are really, as you said before so nicely, admire them or be with them, try to connect to them, they mirror back whatever needs to be released, whatever needs to be healed, whatever. And it's so easy to explain, but it's so hard to explain about when you are just have a human being entangled in the day-to-day life. They wouldn't take time, but with the horses, they will have a much more a much better perspective about this. Yeah.
Absolutely. It's 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 amazing. So okay, so this is one part of what you are involved with. Okay.
Mm.
So, for example, do you have sessions, for example, with the people just, or with the horses, or with the owners of the horses, or whatever? Do you have some kind of sessions, some kind of guidance, some kind of? I'm interested to know that. Okay.
Uh, yes, it will begin, but at the moment I'm not using my my horses for healing. But I have, of course, because I was a professional horse trainer, so I have a lot of riding students, and they might be interested in the spiritual work, and so I can explain them very well how to use the energy field of the horse with myself and combine it. And then also, of course, the one-on-one healing sessions where we dive deep into the energy field. And the it's always accompanied by their horses or by the the behavior of the horses or how they tell me what problems, what issues that there are, and then we can dive deeper. Then we can come along because it's all about the balance, alignment, and flexibility. And this counts for the human race as well, also for the horse race, because when I start to train a horse, it has to come in balance to do its work. And so do we. And yeah, and when we're not aligned with the horse, when we are not aligned with everything in us, we cannot move on. Yeah, we are stuck. We are stuck in a loop, and that's it. And so do the horses. And at the end of the day, it's a flexibility of movement. It's a flexibility of movement from the horse. Of course, it's amazing. Yeah. And when you are not in alignment, you will never compare your movement with the movement of the horse. And so even the riding lessons are depending on healing sessions. But the horses are doing the healing during the session.
Yeah, everything is connected. Everything is, it's all just it's just like a puzzle pieces, just coming together and becoming bigger and bigger. And when the way how it become bigger, it's also the way how our knowledge is growing. Yeah, and so in the other side, there is another. You said shaman. You met the shaman.
Yes.
Can we talk about that?
This is this has my whole gratitude, I would say.
Uh huh.
Because what is so unique with him is
Yeah.
that he tried to figure out what is the meaning of life in all its facets. And he is the same in the universal energy, in the universal realms, being uh, existing also there.
Yeah.
And the first that he taught me or us, it is about that there are two equal realities. The one is the earth and the other, name it universe.
Yeah.
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 And the earth has its own laws. That means in our earth is the law of duality and the universal energies. There's nothing else than pure love and light.
Yeah.
And we as humans are most of the time so limited that we don't see that there is nothing else than the pure energy of light.
Yeah.
Oh, we should really see that we can combine this through bridges, like power animals, like whatsoever. But it everybody has its own laws,
Yeah.
and we shouldn't mix it up. And therefore, and this is one of our missions, to say, okay, when we allow ourselves to receive these universal energies, that is nothing else than pure light, we can accelerate our energy here
Yeah.
on Earth.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. It's not meant that we are just flowing through these energies and not be willing to connect to life.
Yeah,
Because there is a reason why our soul chose this life.
absolutely.
Even when we sometimes doubt it, it is like it is,
It is.
of course.
It is,
And
and if you don't listen, then it will come this and this and this and this and this, all small proof that a listen to your intuition.
listen to your intuition. And
Yeah.
therefore, and then he really is so, he, let's name it like he studied shamanism
Okay.
because he
Yeah, yeah.
is science of language, and he did the studies about all the shaman tribes around the world,
Mm-hmm.
and he took out the essence, all the rituals, all the things that they did the same way and they never met before
Yeah.
should be something that is real. That is the reality.
Mm-hmm.
And from there, he created this essence of shamanism. And of course, we have so many other things around there. I don't want to dive deeper into this,
Of
yeah?
course.
But the
Yeah.
essence of shamanism, the pure thing, is about that we are here on earth as workers, let's name it like this, as, yeah, whatever it is, but we are able to receive these energies
Mm-hmm.
when we are in alignment. And when we see that the hermetic laws have a much deeper meaning
Mm-hmm.
than we even would mention,
I
because
understand.
everybody
Yeah.
is talking about that energy follows the attention. Everybody
Yeah. Yeah.
who live according to this. Good question.
The people who are closer to the nature.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's
I,
true.
I I met a few in Brazil, and it's like, it's just, you cannot imagine the the wisdom, the natural wisdom they have in everything. So
And that's the thing that we are. And so many people ask me always, you have to go back to the forest, living in the woods, and so on. No, we can easily translate this into our modern world when we live according to the elements, five elements. This is the foundation of our life. Yeah, when we really understand what they are telling us, like air, fire, water, earth, and so on, and how we can bring it into an equilibrium inside of. And this makes us be balanced, be much more in harmony, be much more in alignment to every essence. And so, yeah, and that's it, what I experienced, and this is what I want to give to the world, or yeah, give it back to the world in every situation, let's say.
and the thing is, when we see that we can give back to other people, which are our, I don't know, totally sisters and brothers, every person in the world it is. So when we realize that we can, it's that produce the expansion of the soul, that produce the expansion of the heart,
That's
and
true.
it's all, I don't know, it's that symphony of creation, of understanding, our love. Yeah, I
And
love it.
it's simply also building again communities of like-minded people, communities who really are willing to expand their heart, their soul. Uh, yeah, and coming together again as a unit, not as, let's say, a separate being. And therefore, we have to understand that every living being has a soul. And when we understand this, then we can try to really collaborate. Yeah, can coming back to living in communities that are trustful, because the separation of humanity is already has already taken part. Let's name it like this. And we did it by ourselves, not that yeah, it's from the outside. It is like it is. And now, by expanding our hearts, explore our souls, we can come together in a much more loving and community way. Yeah, build communities, and this is what is meant to be. Name it like. But before we are equal and all together, we should come to the point that the universe is living within us, not only outside of us.
Yeah, that's and the entrance is the heart. Okay. Yeah,
And
yeah,
the truth is the heart. And as soon as we see it, that when we bring our world together, and it doesn't mean that I have to close off anybody, it has to see that I know myself honestly, who I am, remember who I am, and what it is, this my special gift or whatever, what I have to bring to the community, to the world as a part of the whole.
exactly. So, you were traveling a lot, as I heard. You meet a lot of interesting people. Some of them we know, both of us. That's also the way how we get in touch. Um, so, tell me, is this, for example, do you do these shamanic sessions, or do you do any other thing with the people? Because people will be interesting when
I will do it with Zoom workshops, with Zoom circles, and teach about the elements, teach about the shamanic rituals, and as well as I'm doing workshops with riders and horses by combining both. That means workshops in presence, that we have a part of it will be a yoga lesson, the next part will be the meaning of the elements and so on, and then how to combine it with horses. This is another part. So both parts are possible.
it's growing the organization, and in a no time there will be a lot interesting with Barbara and her knowledge. Super, I love it. I love it. So, yeah, the thing is that it's really interesting because your connection with horses just fascinated me, and I feel when I talk to you, I feel that goodness, that unconditional love to the animals and everything, and it's just beautiful, and it's just beautiful. And then the shamanic knowledge, which is a bit mixed in, it's starting to do totally new approach of the healing of our traumas, of our because healing is not just healing body and healing that it's a very complex thing that we step into the balance,
Right.
so to
And
be in balance with everything.
with everything.
Yeah, yeah.
And I strongly believe that every sickness or every accident that happens is in our energetic field before. But this is, I mean, a little bit a deeper experience, what I made by myself or whatever. Everybody of us has its own story. And it's about empower ourselves and not in as egoism. It is just empowering by our heart energy. It's just empowering by our true essence, who we really are and what we can achieve in this lifetime. and how we use this lifetime to really build up the energies. We have enough negativity around us. It is about where the energy flows. And we are called to bring the energy to the positivity. And even when, and you know it as, and I know it, but when we get our messages from our guidance from the other world, it is always very, how to say, not strict, just straight, and it's very basic, let's say. It's
Yeah,
always
yeah, that's it. It's a simple three
simple.
words, two words message, which, if you listen to it, it's the
Yes.
essence to resolve that problem. Yeah,
And this is what we always call as more we know, as more we don't.
yeah, 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 exactly. For
Yeah.
example, when I was I was having quite a few accidents with a motorbike, and but that was always, absolutely always, after some conflict, or with a ex-wife, or with a girlfriend, or with some boss or something. Always, I was upset, you know, and had to be
Even
stopped, because that obsession goes up, 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 and you become more and more angry, and no, it has to be stopped, and somebody stop you, you know. And if you don't stop, the universe will stop you to the moment that you will die, because hey, that's not for you. That's not what you do, you know. Next lesson.
it's not what you meant to do.
Yeah,
Yeah, this is what I want to say. Even if you're not angry, you're just stubborn and do like, yeah, you want look a little bit over the
exactly,
fence, over
exactly.
your perspective, and you are too stubborn,
Yeah,
and you stay in your structure. There is always a wakey wakey call and say, okay, here we are.
yeah.
You are a little bit beside your way.
Yeah,
You're
it's
a little bit bypassing what you really want to do.
yeah, 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 yeah. Exactly. It's like that. It's like that. It's fantastic. Yeah, I don't know. It's like every day I do things, I see things. I know. Just yesterday we were talking with a friend about about everybody's looking. Oh, what's happening? Oh, look, war here. Oh, what the. Leave that. That's not our world. We want a new world. We want something peaceful, balanced. Let's build it. Let's build that world. Not being
Fine.
obsessed with what is going on somewhere in some other country. No, because this is the split time. The people who cannot accommodate, they will stay in that timeline, and they will continue their game, and we don't want that.
Yeah,
You know.
it's fine for them, but it's not what we want to do.
Yeah, absolutely. Totally respectful, There's no no, 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 no. Because you know how it is. The evolution is like in a mall, that automatic stairs, okay?
Yeah,
So for example, you step on one step, and you are three steps in front of me. And
yes,
then how ridiculous would be if you would start to scream on me, Urosh, I'm much more developed, I'm higher than you, you know. No, in the end, we will come up, which is the same level,
yeah.
so doesn't matter if people are not open sufficiently about, in their consciousness. Yeah, okay, they are not open enough, but they will be, because I
And
wasn't, and then I was a bit more, and then billions who are more than me. It's like, of
yeah,
course, it's like never-ending evolution. The stairs, evolution stairs.
and this is also, we have to respect everybody's choices.
Yeah,
Everybody has free will.
absolutely. Yes, yes.
Everybody has a free will, and
Yeah,
everybody is asked for,
yeah, 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 yeah,
and yeah, thinking
yeah.
about what they want to do or how they want to do.
Yeah.
And as long as I blame it on the outside world, this will never affect anything. Yeah, I have
Never, 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 never,
yeah,
never, never.
I have really to bring myself in order.
Yeah.
And this is what I said. It's about every every word with self in front. Maybe it wasn't me in the past, and this is what came up in my journey.
Mhm.
And it's not about selfish. It is about self-respect, self-trust, everything. And whenever something is lacking and I seek for it in the outside world, it will not become the result I wanted to be.
Yeah.
And this is what I have to figure out, or not I.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Everybody has to
Yeah.
figure out what it is. And then we can create this really respectful communities. And then we can live a much more harmonious way
Yeah.
of living.
Yeah. The thing is, I remember maybe 20, 25 years ago when we were studying the psychosomatic medicine. Okay,
Yeah.
the professor said, uh, whenever you said to someone, "You did this to me," it's not true. You allowed someone to this to do this to you because you did not do anything to remedy it. You know, so it's please don't. You know, don't try to be a victim. You have to evolve understanding more and more the laws of universe.
Of universe.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is, and when we dive deeper into the language,
Yeah.
in German language, it's always you are angry about you. When I would translate it
Mm-hmm,
word by
mm-hmm.
word. And in another language, it's I'm angry about this and this. Yeah.
Yeah.
But this is also a thing that we really have to open our mind, our perspective,
Mm-hmm.
at this everything. A much more open consciousness, a
Yeah.
much more open yeah, way of thinking.
Yeah.
And every situation has at minimum two sides of the coin. It's more than two sides of the coin.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
this is the law of duality. And this is what we have to
Yeah.
understand.
And it's I don't know. It's like, okay, let's start to work together. You know.
Yeah.
Today's society is based on competition. I'm doing something, you do something similar, so we hate each other.
Right.
Or we steal the patent, or we, just to get more money. Okay.
Mhm.
In reality, if we would step together, bring all the brains together, and do something totally new, unique, and that would be the best for all. You know, and that's how it should be.
As long the energy flows, as long the circle
Yeah.
of yeah of
Yeah.
life is yeah flowing, let's say, it's everything is fine.
Yeah.
It is
Yeah.
always the stagnation, the separation, and also the careless from we are really used to do from the society
Mhm.
that we don't care.
Yeah.
If we would care for ourselves first and then for other people,
Yeah,
it would,
because if you care for yourself, you will be able to help another.
and yeah, be the light
Yeah,
who you want to be.
exactly. Exactly. Be the light, and you will contage everybody around you will become more bright.
Yeah,
It's
and
how it is. Yeah.
this is one of my favorite stories of shamanism is storytelling. And when you have two rooms and one is full of darkness
Yeah.
and the other is full of light, and there's only a door in between. When you open the door, Never, never, ever. The darkness will overcome light.
No,
Always the light
the
overcomes
light will invade the darkness, will
invade.
diminish the darkness. Yes.
Yes, and that's it. And when we strongly believe that
Yeah.
the light always overcomes the darkness,
Yeah.
yeah, of course we can face the darkness. Yeah, it's not that everything is nice and beautiful and we have these circumstances around us.
Yeah.
But with light, when we bring it up to the light, we can really transform so many things into the better.
Yeah.
If we are willing, yeah, to let the exchange the energy.
Exactly. Exactly.
With,
It's beautiful.
without stagnation.
Yes. Okay. So I suppose you have a web page when the people can contact you.
Yes.
Okay. So I will put. You know how I will do. I will put in the description of the video. I will put all your data. You will tell me, and the people can contact you. Also, your video is in our page, Learning to Fly, Uroshmi. So there will be the same data and maybe even more about you. I would like to tell you, I'm so, so grateful to the universe that I've met you, that I was able to open my heart to talk to you, and that I have a new, very, very good friend, which is Barbara. Okay.
Thank you from my side as well. I'm really heartfelt, grateful for our connection and yeah, that we can, by example, open our hearts and expand
Okay.
whatever we want to achieve into the world and bring into the world. Yeah, to find more harmony, peace, and ease,
Exactly.
and of course, balance in our lives.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you so much.